Hey YouTube, Happy New Year! I'm back! I had a very much needed 2-week break from posting. I got to spend some time with my son and my family and catch up on sleep, reorganize, declutter. Ugh, you guys, I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulder and I just feel refreshed and recharged to come back here in 2024 to give you some amazing new content. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're an esthetician or you're an aspiring esthetician or you love skincare. I've been sharing with you my journey for almost 4 years now since I started this channel and since I opened up this space, and I plan to continue to grow with you, and I hope that you will come and join me in my journey as well. Comment below where you're at in your journey and what you hope to gain from my channel and any topics that may interest you. I'm always trying to keep my content relevant and helpful for you watching. This is the year of the dragon. So for those of you who don't know, I'm half Chinese, and in my culture we have animal zodiac signs, and each animal only appears every 12 years. And so this year of 2024 is the year of the dragon. And I remember my great-grandmother was very, very fond of the year of the dragon because my very first cousin, he was a boy, he was born in the year of the dragon, and she was like, oh yes, very good. So what does the year of the dragon represent? It represents strength, it represents wisdom, it represents good fortune and success. And so I really truly hope that all of us can experience the good and positive side of this year. Of course, there's going to be challenges and bumps along the way, but I'm here with you. I hope you guys can see my heart and that I did have to make some changes. If you guys saw a few videos ago, I shared with you some updates about my online courses and that I made some changes, and so I'm going to be kind of piggybacking off of that in this video and sharing with you some more 2024 Radiance Academy updates and some things that I have been working on, and also a new service that I'm adding in. I'm also going to be talking about some updates from State Board. These of course are for the state of California, so if you are in a different state or country, go ahead and make sure you re-verify what I'm going to be sharing with you to see if it applies to you in your state or territory. So if you guys want to hear my 2024 Radiance Academy and State Board updates, then go ahead and continue watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Throughout this video, go ahead and comment below any questions or feedback for me in the comments below. Of course, keep it constructive and positive here in this community. And if you enjoy the video, like this video, share it with somebody that you feel might benefit from it. And of course, subscribe to my channel. Your guys' participation on my page helps my page get seen more. And I do believe that my page has been a valuable resource to all of you watching. I do want to reach more people, and of course, I'm excited to reach that milestone of 100,000 subscribers and just be able to have greater impact on this community. Knowing that there has been a thirst and a hunger for more information, more continuing education as an esthetician, because I was where you guys were at, okay? We're going on 7 years ago that I started my journey searching for this career. Of course, I've gained more confidence and I've had a successful business. We go through our ups and downs, but overall, I believe that what we have here at Radiance, me and Kristen, has been very successful. It's gotten great feedback for the most part. So I developed a skincare training. First, I hosted it here in person, and I was doing that, and I've probably trained about 15 to 20 individuals at this point, and it's been wonderful, and I've met some great people along the way, and I've seen a lot of them be successful moving forward. Because there was so much interest in the in-person training, I was getting inquiries from people in other states, even in other countries, and so I developed last year an online version of that skincare training, and I let it kind of run its course for about a year, and the skincare training in person for about 2 years. I had to sit and think with myself for a few months and think about, okay, how are we going to move forward here? I want to continue to be number one, a free resource here for you on YouTube, but also to provide additional resources that are, number one, more affordable, and number two, less time consuming for the both of us. In my other video, I announced that I'm not going to be offering a skincare training anymore. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent decision, but for now, I am taking a little pause from that. What I am adding to my resources is a different kind of coaching session. For those of you who don't know, I already offer a one-on-one intro coaching session for 30 minutes. I found that that's been a very, very helpful thing for some of you to just talk to me for a brief period of time and ask your questions, and I give you action items at the end of it, and basically homework to do and what I believe your next steps are. But part of my skincare training, one of the parts I really enjoyed about it the most was being able to watch you guys doing services. And so I've decided that I'm going to be adding in a second type of coaching session, which is going to be a little bit longer. In my skincare training, I was teaching my protocols. Now, not everybody necessarily is going to want to offer what I offer. You guys might want to put your own little mix and twist to your protocols, which is totally fine. I think everybody should be unique in that way and offer what they want to offer, whatever brands you want to use, whatever products you want to use. The point of this coaching session is for me to sit and watch you do a facial service. Now, ideally, this is going to be a maximum of 60 minutes for your service, for me to watch your intake, your service, each step, and your outtake with the client. And then we'll spend the next half hour or so of that coaching session to go over my feedback for you, where you could tighten things up, where you could be a little bit more polished and professional. I understand some of you guys maybe have not worked in a spa setting or a high-end spa setting, but I have. If you're gonna take this coaching session, make sure that you are ready to hear some feedback. I do believe that this has been a very helpful resource for those people who did take my course. I'm basically just carving out that one session from the training and having that available to book. I am going to be having both coaching sessions available on my booking site, and then also it's just going to be linked to my current availability, and so that it's just very crystal clear when I'm free and you guys can book directly on there. If you're gonna do this type of coaching session with me where I'm gonna be watching you do a service, you're gonna need to have a phone, you're gonna need to have a laptop, one or the other, so that I can watch you guys from a good point of view. You know, you can't have me in the corner where I'm like, you know, trying to peek over and see what what you're doing. I need to be in a very clear, well-lit space, ideally somewhere high up so that I can see, you know, from an aerial view. And basically I'm gonna turn off my camera and mute myself so that you don't feel like I'm hovering over you the whole time. Price wise for the coaching sessions, you can see that on my website, and just understand that I price these to compensate me not only for the knowledge and feedback that I'm giving you, but also for my time. I could be working on a client during that time, and I hope you understand that. I charge a certain amount of money just to see a client and do a facial on them. So for me to kind of set aside time to work with a student, it needs to be just as it's worth the time, if that makes sense. So I hope you can respect that, and that also you supporting me is supporting my business and my family. So I thank you in advance, and I look forward to meeting you if you are going to be doing one of these coaching sessions with me. Just know too that the skincare training, that's the only thing I've taken away. All of my other courses, my lash lift course, brow shaping course, and my Going Solo series, those are still available for purchase. Now, another thing, just to top it all off and seal the deal here, I am going to be working on an ebook. Now, I already have a manual that I provided with my skincare training, and it needs a facelift. I made that 2 years ago, and it needs a little facelift and some refreshed content and new content as well. And so I'm going to be putting together one ebook to start. And of course, when that's done, I'll be sure to share it with you here on this channel. Possibly we'll be coming out with multiple ebooks in the future, but I do feel like that is something that is going to be, again, more affordable for you and less time consuming and still just as helpful. Now that I'm done talking to you about my Radiance Academy updates, let's get into the state board updates. So I received a email a few weeks back from the State Board of Barbering and Cosmetology of California. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Page 4 says consumer warning about unlawful home services. So they're pointing out lash services, hair coloring services, and waxing services that are home-based. Now, is that illegal? No. But what is against state board policy is to be offering those services while you're in school or while you're unlicensed. I know we've all started somewhere. I know we all want to make money. I know we just get excited and we want to just start working on models and practicing. But if you are setting up shop and charging individuals for these services and posting yourself as if you're an established business and you're licensed, that's not okay. From what I've seen, most commonly are lash artists. Lash artists technically need to be licensed estheticians or cosmetologists. If you are a lash artist and you're practicing without a license, I highly suggest that you go to school and do your licensure. It's really not that long of a process, and it's just gonna ensure the future of your business. So State Board, I feel like sending this out, they're really trying to start to crack down more on that, and just to keep people safe, because those of you who aren't licensed may not know the proper sanitation procedures, and you're dealing with people's skin and eyes and all of that. So please, for the sake of those of us who are licensed, please keep that in mind and pursue that in the very near future. Okay, so next update, alcoholic beverages in establishments. So effective January 1st of 2024, you are not required to have a permit or license to serve wine or beer as any part of service provided by an establishment. Number one, that there cannot be an extra charge or fee for this beer or wine. Number two, the license of the establishment providing the service is in good standing with the Board of Barbering and Cosmetology. Number three, no more than 12 ounces of beer or 6 ounces of wine by the glass is offered to the client, and that the beer or wine is only provided during business hours and no later than 10 p.m. So yeah, I guess you guys, if you want to turn up a little bit in your studios, you can, but know that means you're serving them the alcohol, okay? I can't say that this pertains to you drinking the alcohol, okay? You know, sometimes you might want to have a little fun with some of your clients, but just remember, stay focused on the job at hand, and that you should ideally be sober for your services. That's just my opinion. Okay, so this section is about having a mobile establishment. So I've seen those actually popping up more, people like renovating a RV or a bus or something and offering services in there. I think that's what this section is about. So it says these self-contained, self-supporting enclosed mobile units are for the practice of any occupation licensed by the board and must comply with all health and safety regulations established by the board. These are typically trailers or recreational vehicles which have been designed for barbering or cosmetology services, and the unit travels to the clients and they're provided inside the unit. Each mobile unit should be equipped with a self-contained potable water supply if shampooing services are offered, continuous on-demand hot water tanks which shall not be less than a 6-gallon capacity, a system of adequate ventilation, and upon approval of the floor plan and application, the owner schedules an appointment to show the mobile unit to a board inspector for final approval. I would love one day to be able to like drive around the country and do facials. Wouldn't that be cool? Ooh, this next one is a good one. Can I provide permanent makeup in my salon? I know that has been a hot topic, so we're about to squish any misconceptions, okay? So the board does not regulate permanent makeup or microblading. Applicable laws pertaining to cosmetic tattooing, please refer to the California Health and Safety Code Division 104, Part 15, Chapter 7, quote-unquote body art, and consult with the California Department of Public Health and local city and county environmental health offices. The board does not have regulations specific to shared spaces or mixed-use rooms. Establishments are expected to follow all board rules and regulations. The board recommends keeping permanent makeup or microblading tools separate from barbering and cosmetology tools. So I know that that's been a question a lot, that can you offer microblading permanent makeup in the same room that you're doing facial services. So from what it sounds like from that paragraph, it sounds like there's no rules about you having to have separate rooms for it. Now, I know I have actually been certified to do microblading and microshading, and I did read the rules about, because it is handled by a different department. And so that department required that you have an inspector come in and look at your space, and they're going to be very nitpicky about things like textures and, you know what I mean, like possible places for blood to get exposed to. And also they require you to have a sink in your room. So if you don't have a sink in your room, you cannot do permanent eyebrow, makeup, whatever. That is why I currently never offered it, because I'm here in this space. I tried asking my management if I could install a sink, and they said no. And so I was like, well, you know what? It's just not in the cards for me right now. So there's going to be rules from the department that manages the microblading and the permanent makeup, and there's going to be, it sounds like, kind of looser rules with the Board of Barbering and Cosmetology. Other than that, you need to keep your tools separated from your other tools. But as far as your room, it sounds like you can do it in the same place, but your other department, who you're going to get the bloodborne pathogen certification from and approval from, they're going to have their own rules. Know your scope. Now, this is a really important thing that I did open up their flyer. So they had a whole list of, they have a barber scope of practice flyer, cosmetologists, estheticians, hairstylists, and manicurists. So I went ahead and I clicked on the esthetician scope of practice. There were some things on here that I was actually kind of surprised, because I was able to do quite a few services at the spa that I worked at, and I know a lot of estheticians offer some of these. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, for the sake of you guys here in California, I'm gonna read through what is in scope for estheticians here and what is out of scope. In scope: dermaplaning / dermablading. Extractions: not using needles, meaning no lancers, no piercing the skin. Eyelash and eyebrow tinting, good to go. Eyelash extensions, good to go. Eyelash perming, lash lifts, brow laminations. Facials: cleansing, exfoliating, massaging. High frequency current, good to go. Hydrofacials. LED device. Makeup and strip lash application. Microcurrent, microdermabrasion, superficial chemical peels, tweezing hair, ultrasonic skin scrubber, and waxing / sugaring face or body. Okay, those are what's listed here that is in scope. Now let me read to you what is prohibited out of scope. Body contouring / sculpting, cavitation, chirotherapy, any fat reduction treatment, derma rolling, electrical muscle stimulator, electrolysis, fibroblast plasma skin tightening, hyaluron pen, injections of any sort, intense pulse light or IPL, lasers of any kind, microneedling / nano needling. Now that was kind of the one I was a little confused about, because I get the microneedling one, I've heard that one. Nano needling, though, I know other places offer that are bigger establishments, so, and they have their estheticians doing it. I may need to email State Board about that. But for those of you who are watching, if you have any particular knowledge about that, let me know. Because I thought nano infusion was permitted by an esthetician to offer. Radio frequency, which I also thought was allowed to be offered by an esthetician. Skin tag or mole removals. And ultrasound, which I also kind of thought that estheticians could offer as well, but I guess not. I don't currently even have a machine that does that, so that's fine. Use of prescription products. So say you somehow get a prescription product from a dermatologist, you are not supposed to be using that during your service. That, again, is California's esthetician scope of practice flyer, and if you would like to see yours, I'm sure you can ask your state board for it. But that, I don't know, I'm just reading it so that those of you watching, now you know. And now I personally know about some of the things that I actually didn't know we were allowed to do, and so now I know. That is why these emails are important to read, you guys. Oh, also one more thing that wasn't included on this. I did have a question for State Board, and I asked them, are estheticians allowed to do scalp treatments? Because I have been seeing a lot of head spas popping up, and I was like, I wonder what kind of license head spa, people have to have, because it's kind of such a unique service. And it's like, yes, it does deal with like the skin in a sense, but you're washing someone's hair and doing this and that. So I did email them, and they emailed me back. Let me pull up the email so I can read it to you. So I said, hi, I'm a licensed esthetician. I was wondering if our license allows us to offer scalp treatments. I've seen a popular treatment starting to pop up for head spas, and I'm interested in learning more about offering it, but I want to be sure this is within my scope of practice. Thanks so much. And she replied back saying, the scope of practice for board licensees are found at Business and Professions Code section 7316. Please see the excerpts below. And so she sent me barbering scope of practice, cosmetology scope of practice and description, and then the practice of skincare is all or any combination of the following practices: giving facials, massaging, stimulating, exfoliating, cleansing, or beautifying the face, scalp, neck, hands, arm, feet, legs, or upper part of the human body by the use of hands, aesthetic devices, cosmetic products, antiseptics, lotions, tonics, or creams for the purpose of improving the appearance or well-being of the skin that do not result in the ablation or destruction of the live tissue. To me, that sounds like we're good to go on offering scalp treatments, and so that is actually something that I am interested in adding to my menu this year. Now, will I be doing a whole full-blown head spa here? I don't think so. I don't have the capability at this point. But hey, I would love to add a little like scalp treatment to my facials. So just know that you're good to go if you're in California or an esthetician and you want to offer that. This video is a little bit lengthy, but I hope it was helpful information for you. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with anybody that you may find it would be helpful for. And take a little excerpt of my video and post it on your Instagram story and tag me, and I will do my best to show you some love or repost it on my page. But thanks again so much for watching. Tune in next Thursday for a new one. And as always, I love you. Stay safe, and I'll see you then.